In the book Unlimited Power by Tony Robbins, Tony Robbins talks about 5 keys to wealth and happiness. Now, wealth and happiness is something that most people want in life, if not everybody. Everybody wants to be happy and everybody wants to have enough money. So we can all understand that wealth and happiness is what most of us want in life. We want to feel happy and we want to feel financially secure. So what does Tony Robbins say in Unlimited Power that he believes are the 5 keys to wealth and happiness? And in this video, that's exactly what we're going to dive into. So the first key to wealth and happiness, according to Tony Robbins, is learning how to handle frustration. The reason why we must learn to handle frustration is because if we want any kind of special happiness in our lives, like if we want to be more happier than what most people seem to be, if we want to have that level of contentment with our lives, then there must be some unique things that we have to go through in order to get that. And if we want to become financially independent, or at least financially secure, again, there's going to be a lot of hard times, there's going to be a lot of frustration in order to get there. So basically, your wealth and happiness depends on how much frustration you are willing to go through to get there. Tony Robbins says that there are 2 kinds of people: those that have handled frustration and those that had wished that they had. Obviously, we don't want to get to the end of our lives and thinking, if I only just struggled a bit more, if I only tried harder, if I only just pushed myself out of my comfort zone, then perhaps I would have reached that level of happiness, that level of wealth that I had wanted to. And we don't want to be one of those people. We want to be someone who has tried absolutely everything that they could possibly do in order to achieve their happiness and their wealth. No one wants to get to the end of their lives and wishing and thinking that they could have done more. There's a good quote that I love by Dr. Wayne Dyer: "Do not die with your music still in you," which essentially means give your gift to the world. If you believe that you are a writer, then you must write. If you believe that you are an entrepreneur, then you must create things that people want. If you want to achieve any kind of level of success in your life, you must understand that there's going to be a lot of frustration in order to get there. Because we must understand that our first ideas might not work. Our first attempts may not get us to that success that we are hoping for. We must learn to change, adapt. Don't give up, but learn to change and adapt and change our approach until we eventually succeed. You have to be willing to put in the work and to perhaps fail many, many times in order to reach that success. The second key to wealth and happiness is you must learn to handle rejection. Thomas Edison attempted to create the electric light bulb 10,000 times before he succeeded. Colonel Sanders, the one who created the KFC recipe, his recipe was rejected over 1,000 times before he got a yes. So what was it inside of them that was able to keep on trying until they succeeded? What I believe this is that they knew that each rejection, each time something failed, it just led them closer to an eventual success. If you see rejection as a stepping stone, as opposed to a roadblock that's trying to stop you, and you see it as something that is an opportunity rather than an obstacle, then you will be able to handle rejection brilliantly. And perhaps whatever you want to achieve, it may take you 1,000 times to attempt it, like Colonel Sanders, or perhaps it will take you 10,000 times, like Thomas Edison, or perhaps it will take you less. Obviously, we do not know how long it's going to take for you personally to achieve that wealth and happiness. But if you know how to handle rejection, if you can treat rejection like Colonel Sanders did and like what Thomas Edison did, and they didn't stop, they kept on persisting, they kept on trying new things in order to get the result that they wanted, then eventually you will have that success. You will have that wealth. You will have that happiness because you didn't give up. You didn't let rejection stop you. The third key to wealth and happiness is you must learn how to handle financial pressure. So whether you are broke or whether you are actually financially independent, no matter who you are, you're going to have financial pressure. Now, obviously, money is a very emotionally charged issue. We all have different stories, different memories about money and how it affects us and how it has affected us over the course of our lives. But if we can remain emotionally in control when it comes to how we feel about money, then we're going to keep a level head when it comes to those money pressures that may appear. Because if you are broke, then obviously the money pressure that you may have is that one of trying to accumulate more wealth. And if you are wealthy, then the pressures that you are probably finding is where to put your money, how to invest your money, or how to maintain your wealth, or how to keep your wealth so you do not lose your wealth. These are all financial pressures, and if you can remain cool-headed, if you can remain emotionally in control when it comes to your money, then if you are broke, you will become wealthy. And if you are already wealthy, you will stay wealthy. As lined out in Unlimited Power and also in the book The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason, the most common way to keep your wealth, to maintain your wealth, and to grow your wealth with each paycheck that you get, to save 10% of your money. Also to give away 10% of your money, and also use another 10% to pay off any debts, and to use the rest, the last 70%, on everything else in your life like food, shelter, and entertainment. And if you do all of those things, eventually you will become wealthy and you will maintain that wealth. The fourth key to wealth and happiness is you must learn to handle complacency. So when people become wealthy, when they achieve whatever it is that they want to achieve, when they become successful, obviously that is determined on their own preferences and what they see as success. Some people become complacent, that they stop growing, they stop trying, and basically they become comfortable. And usually what happens when people become comfortable, that's when they start to diminish, that's when they start to actually decrease, that's when they actually start to get a lot worse. So you want to avoid becoming complacent when you have actually achieved success, when you have achieved a good level of wealth or a good level of happiness. You don't want to become complacent and take these things for granted. One of my favorite quotes by Tony Robbins is, "If you are not growing, then you are dying." And basically what this means is when we become too comfortable, we start to take things for granted, and we don't, let's say, exercise our body as much, we don't work as hard at our job, we don't spend as much time with our family, and because of this we are getting worse. Because if you are staying the same, if you're not changing anything, you are actually getting worse. But if you are growing and you are constantly striving for growth, you will always continue to be growing and to becoming more. And as human beings, we love to see improvement in our lives. We love to see growth. We love to feel like we are going somewhere, like we are getting somewhere. We have to feel that we are moving forward in life. The fifth key to wealth and happiness is to always give more than what you expect to receive. You cannot go to a patch of soil and ask for flowers and fruit. You have to plant seeds, you have to water it, you have to nurture it. You cannot get anything out of nothing. You have to give your time, you have to give your resources, you have to give your attention in order to receive. Another quote that I really love by Dr. Wayne Dyer, which he spoke about in his Power of Intention seminar, is if you are unsure of what your purpose is, if you are unsure of what to do, you must find a way to be of service to others. You cannot attain wealth and happiness by just sitting there. There are things that you need to give. You cannot go into a relationship and expect that person to just keep on giving and giving and giving to you. Or even worse, you give to them expecting to receive. In relationships and in love, you must go there to give. And do not be attached to the outcome. Do not be attached to what you get in return. What you get in return will come to you eventually, and it may even come from a completely different source. You may give an act of kindness to someone on the street, and that act of kindness might not necessarily come back from that person that you gave it to. It may come from a different source. But the point is to keep on giving, because if you want to receive health, if you want to receive wealth, if you want to receive happiness, you have to give. You have to do more for others. Give more to others than you expect to receive, and eventually you will receive more than expected. And those were the 5 keys to wealth and happiness in Unlimited Power by Tony Robbins. And I highly recommend that you get this book for yourself so you can look at those 5 keys. If you found this video valuable, then I'd really appreciate it if you left a like on it and if you did subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon.